going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday afternoon with my man Gyiraszin, sweating out a little 4-game early slate. About to talk about this beautiful 9-game main slate. Let me just double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 it is. Pitching, absolutely gross, Gyiraszin. That means the bats are pretty good, though. If you can see up here, screen sharing SaberSim is what I meant to say. Those words got jumbled. Plenty of 5-run totals for teams. The Mets, Cincy, the Braves, Cubs hovering around there, the Rangers, San Diego, Dodgers. So plenty of good offense, not great pitching. That's the broad slate overview for me. How are we doing on this Wednesday? What are your thoughts on this slate?
You pretty much hit it. Pitching sucks. When you even say to yourself, I think about playing Patrick Corbin, you might as well go outside and start doing some bong rips and break into the case of high noons. I mean, that's basically where we're at, especially on FanDuel. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's, 5 teams, I think, that have a team total over 5. So pitching just gross. I mean, you got one guy way up top, and then you got a bunch of kind of garbage in the middle, and then you got just absolute puke at the bottom. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. But, dude, in Detroit, we don't care. We got this guy named Javi Baez that can't freaking miss a baseball here recently. Dude's got better numbers than a lot of big name stars in MLB so far. But man, Javi Baez just lit this town up on fire last night. Like, what a comeback this guy is. They call him some other weird name, Javier Baez or something. They call him here in Detroit. They gave him a different name. But yeah, man, I think it's pretty funny what's going on. But hey, that's baseball. Like we talk about it, it's such a high variance sport, goes up and down, up and down. That's kind of like over the years. I like to stick with hot guys that are hot, teams that are hitting, because it just seems to kind of make it easier. But dude, I got to give you a little clap. I know you came on top there, the DK 121 the other day, and then you sent me your team, and I'm like, dude, Royals? I was like, oh man, at least it was only a 3-man. But hey, the Royals got the job done there for you. But that's 2 of y'all now. They got some Royals cheese. You and Hoop got some Royals cheese.
And Nate's 3 people got some Royals cheese.
Maybe I'm missing out. I don't know. I just can't stomach the roster of them bums. But, hey, you guys got the job done. But, hey, that's good times. That's what it's all about.
Appreciate it very much, Gyiraszin. Like I told Nate, even better, I think, was that $25 I took for him. He was talking a little too much.
That's always fun taking the boys' money when they want to run their mouth.
Yeah, so shout out to Nades. Still haven't got any lunch on Nades, but that'll be coming in the coming days. Hey, I feel this, Devin Davis. Monday, I mean, that's when I shipped. I absolutely felt locked in. Yesterday, couldn't have been worse in the MLB streets. My bubble was far, far left. Cubs did not get the job done. Dodgers didn't get the job done. None of the people I like got the job done. But hey, daily fantasy sports, we're on to another day. What's going on, Jason Toner? Jason Turner, Pop Stoner, combining all my words. Hope you're doing well, Jason and Pop Stoner. I am Rice. What's going on? Devin Davis, Keith, Philly Phantom, Richie Smalls, Brian, Robert, Kenny, Woody. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. I think I'm going to check into that because I did see earlier as well that just the stone and projections for main slate. We should have it for early, though. So I'll double check with the team what that was about, Kenny. But yeah, we should be having early projections like on a slate like today with 4 games. Stan in here, what's going on? Yeezy in here, Cam in here. We will definitely be talking about Texas, the chalk. We'll be talking about all of these games. Before we do, again, like button, subscribe button helps us out a ton. Also, if you're not a member, we are screen sharing SaberSim. No better deal to join if you do want to join right now. For the first month, you get a $99 deal. All of our content, projections, ownership, SaberSim, and the Discord. Use the code DGen75. Takes off $75, just $24 a month for SaberSim Core and all of our content and the Discord. Absolutely cannot beat that. All right. Let's talk some pitching, Gyiraszin. It is absolutely gross. So, again, I'm using the filter. I'm saying show me pitchers that are projected with projected for 8.5 or higher. Then I'm taking the average from SHIPIT Nation and SaberSim projections, sorting by sale. Actually, first we'll sort by ownership. We have Yamamoto all the way up at the top, 10.5K, the highest owned on the slate. then a mix of Clay Holmes, Lodolo, Jameson Taillon look to be coming in pretty close after that. No one's a priority for me on this slate. Like Yamamoto only being projected for like 1.5 more than some other guys, and by far the highest owned. There's bats I want to play on this slate. Now, always plenty of cheap bats, but by no means is he a priority. I'm definitely all ears when I'm talking to you about pitching today. But yeah, you mentioned Patrick Corbin. He gets the coveted Rockies. The White Sox also a coveted matchup as well. But the Rockies, who absolutely are awful with projected run support behind Corbin, it is a gross slate when Patrick Corbin is in the mix. But AK, Gunnar, Honglon, all the way to Yoshinobu, Yamamoto, 8K, 10.5K. Take it away.
Yeah, man, this is just, I think today is a day where I think when you look at the other half of what we got, that being the bats, I think it's going to be so spread out today as far as bats. I don't think there's any really clear chalk. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 teams. I think there's 5 teams. Let me just make sure I've said already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 teams that have 5-point run total or higher today. So I think offense is pretty much going to spread out. So that being said, I think you just got to play the pitching you feel most comfortable with today that you have the salary for. As you mentioned, Yamamoto to me is the best pitcher, I mean, on the slate, but when you consider the salary, up there at 10.5, I mean, it's not the best of matchups for him here versus the A's, but I mean, he does have a 5 percentage points higher strikeout rate, 30% strikeout rate. So, I mean, he is the best pitcher. But like I said, and you mentioned there, he's not that high, projected that high with the guys here in this other group that we're looking at here with Clay Holmes sitting at 24% strikeout. He gets just an absolute terrible, and I mean terrible, Pirates team who may not even have O'Neal Cruz. I didn't see the lineup today. But if O'Neal Cruz isn't in there, I mean, these Pirates can't hit out of a paper bag against a righty. They're literally worse than the Rockies. So,
we don't have it yet, but I don't think O'Neal Cruz will be in the lineup. He's been out for multiple days. I don't expect him to be in today, but we don't have. I mean,
you take their best hitter out. I mean, they're even more garbage than they regular. So, I think somebody like, Holmes is somebody that is definitely going to be in play. I think Bassett too. I mean, he doesn't really get in too much trouble. He doesn't walk too many guys. I don't mind Bassett against Tampa Bay. Bassett has struggled a little bit in his last few starts. I mean, his last 4 starts, the highest point total he's got was 16. He's had 2 games under 10. So Bassett does worry me a little bit. You got Taillon as well, who's in this group against just a bad Miami team. So I like Taillon, but I mean, like we're saying, pitching is just ugly today. I mean, I think I would, literally keep it tight today. I think Lodolo is another guy you could play. 5 quality starts his last 8 innings. So the last 8 starts out. So I think, especially over there on FanDuel, but he is priced up a little on FanDuel. It's kind of interesting when you look at the pricing differences too, between the 2 sites, like Patrick Corbin is really hard to stomach on DK at his price, but on FanDuel, he's only 7,800. He's one of the lowest priced pitchers. So, if you want some bats today, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to look at Patrick Corbin at 78 over on FanDuel. But, on DK, I think he's priced up a little bit. But, I mean, Pepio isn't somebody that, I really want to go. He's looked like shit in his last 3 games. I mean, what does he have here? 7 strikeouts in his last few starts. I mean, he just hasn't looked too good. Bryce Elder, I'm not really interested in. 19% strikeout pitcher. And I mean, it's some tough sailing, but I think you got to keep it tight today. If you can get up to Yamamoto, I think he's the safest play, but you're going to pay for it. After that, I think you got 4 guys that are in play mixed in. You get, especially on DK, Holmes, Lodolo, Bassett, Taillon. If you want to throw in Corbin, I think it's a little riskier. But I think really that's all I do here, Title. I mean, you could look at maybe some of this other guys here at the bottom that, you got cheap rookie you could look at. But really, other than that, man, pitching's ugly. I mean, it's ugly.
It's definitely ugly. For me, I got a clear 3, and it's just picking on the worst teams in baseball. Give me Clay Holmes against the Pirates and no O'Neal Cruz. Give me Nick Lodolo against this brutal White Sox team. Give me Patrick Corbin against this brutal Colorado team. It's gross. It's really gross pitching. But if I know at least that I'm going against awful offenses on a slate where there's a ton of appealing offenses on the slate. And then again, when I'm good with Yamamoto. If you can fit him, I'm totally good with that. But when he's projected for 18.7, he's in the max Fried price range of yesterday. Like Paul Skeens has been 9.7 recently. We haven't seen too many pitchers above 10K. It definitely didn't work out playing Fried yesterday at that price. Even if he gets me 18 at 10.5, I'm not sure I'm happy with that. I'm fine with it. I would definitely have some in my pool if I knew that was the case. But 16 from Corbin and 16 from Taillon, and you save 2K, like I'll upgrade bats. Like those 2 points, I'm not worried about much there. So he'd be in my pool. You said, what'd you say about Bassett? You had interest there?
I mean, I don't mind his matchup. I think it's a decent matchup, for him. He doesn't really walk too many guys. He doesn't really get himself beat up too much. I mean, you're looking against the Rays. He's got a 25% strikeout rate. There's only 3 pitchers over the 22% that, we talk about. So Bassett isn't really there, but we're kind of stretching, right? 9,500 for Bassett is kind of scary. On a normal slate, I would tell you to, go pound sand. But, he has been giving up basically 3 and 4 earned runs every damn start, too. I mean, it's definitely something that is going to be tough to stomach. But I don't mind him here. I think, you could, try to get you, 15, 16 points from Bassett, as you mentioned. But it's just a little too high at 9,500. I think that's why today, I think to me, I would probably just play Holmes and maybe go Taillon is probably what I would end up doing, or maybe Corbin in there. Lodolo. I did see somebody mention Lodolo's home splits. I just looked at him. Yeah, he's been shitty at home. Maybe he's got a girlfriend or something at home. He gets it down with or something. It just don't make sense. But yeah, you know what? Generally, I don't get too concerned with that, especially kind of early into the season as we are. I mean, Cincinnati is the great American, home run ballpark. But hey, Pete Rose can get his ass in the Hall of Fame now. So, maybe those, right, Pete Rose. I mean, Pete Rose should be in the damn Hall of Fame title. Like, it's not the Hall of Fame's decision how to tell the story. He did what he did. I think it's more damning. If I was a cheater and you put it on my plaque, that's more damning to me than keeping me out, not telling my story, right? Like, I think he should be in there. And plus, in these days, every freaking casino's got their damn sports book advertised on the wall out in the outfields. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, I get it. Pete was Pete, but you can't keep the guy out. And, as far as I'm concerned, they should all be in the Hall. How is Barry Bonds not in the Hall of Fame? That's a bunch of bullshit. That's even now I'm on that one because Pete's in. Now he ain't in, but he'll get in. I might even go to that Hall of Fame one there title. That would be fun. Yeah. If Pete got put in, that would be a hell of a party out there. But yeah,
you ever been to the Hall of Fame, Cooperstown?
No, I do really want to go. That's on one of my bucket lists. I want to do like a trip and go up like to the East Coast and maybe hit like a Yankee game, a Boston game. I'd really like to hit Fenway. I forgot how many stadiums I've been to, almost more than half, but I haven't done the East Coast run. So I'd like to get up and do that.
It was cool. I was 6th grade. We went to Cooperstown for our Little League team playing, and I went with someone actually that's from Boston. So we went to Fenway, saw Tim Wakefield pitch. Nice. Fenway was dope. He got shelled, but that was cool. Went to Cooperstown, had a whole week there. So yeah, definitely a blast. Back to the pitching though. We're going to get AK and below. I'm going to ask you, like, I do not pretty much like any of these guys. So I would keep Bassett in my pool, and it's Corbin, Taillon, Lodolo, Holmes, Bassett, Yamamoto. Pretty much my pool, those 6. Again, like, I'm good playing any of the 2 combined, like any 2 combinations. Corbin, Taillon, the cheapest, I'm fine playing it. 8.3K, 8.5K does not break the bank by any means. Again, K props on this slate. Who has the highest K props, you might wonder? Lodolo, number 1. Actually, Lodolo and Yamamoto are tied. 5.5 minus 155 on the over. Number 2 on the slate is Chris Bassett, 5.5 minus 130 on the over. Clay Holmes, 4, 5.5 minus 120 on the over. And then we got Jameson Taillon, 5.5 minus 105 on the over. Corbin right there too, 4.5 minus 160 on the over. So I literally just said the top 6K props on the slate as well. A lot of them have the best matchups. It's not breaking the bank pairing any of them. So these 6, I would pretty much cross off everyone below 8K. I do want your opinions, though. Like Colton Gordon, someone's asking about, projects fine first price. Randy Vasquez, people like picking on LA. A lot of Dylan Cease, a lot of Michael King the past 2 days. Obviously, way different tiers of pitching than Randy Vasquez, but that's worked out. If I had to go anywhere, it'd probably be Gordon, Vasquez. I don't love it for this slate, but I'm fine with it with the discount. 8K and below, what are you doing?
Yeah, there really isn't much. This Gordon guy, first thing I did, I looked at how old he is. He's 26 years old. So we got to tame it down. He's not some, highfalutin prospect that, is at the top of the chain that I want to have his rookie card in my box back here. That's not the case here.
He's not no Torkelson.
Yeah, Torkelson better get back. He's going to be coming out the case again. I'm going to put Javi in there if he don't get his shit together. Even though he did it at homer yesterday, I'll give him that. But hadn't been hitting all that well in the last few weeks. But, Gordon's a rookie. I looked him up. He was almost 24% K rate, 7% walk rate. Was doing decent. But, so far this year, I just call him a mid-level kind of pitcher. I mean, at 20-some percent. I mean, at his price – I'd take maybe a flyer on him. If I had 2 or 3, 4 teams, I probably wouldn't do that. But you never know what you're going to get out of him. So, I think, the price is there. I just feel better with the group of the 6 guys we talked about than trying to really stretch it and force it here today. So, the little bit that you're going to save there, I guess if you wanted a better bat, you could go down to him, but I think it's pushing it, to be honest with you. It's not like I said, if he was some high level prospect and he was, 23 years old, 22 years old, and this is major league debut, and he was up in the 27, 28% K range, I'd be like, boop, Lacko, but that's not the case.
Any Elder, any Vasquez, any Pepio, or just cross them all off?
I think I pretty much would. I think I would just cross him off, to be honest with you. Weathers for me isn't anywhere I want to go. He didn't have too many pitches his last time out. I don't even want to consider going against the Cubs anyway. Vasquez, he could get you a win. He did have 19 points last time. He did do the 6 innings for us. He has climbed up his pitch count here recently. 4 starts ago, he was at 68, 77, 89, 95. He has been climbing up a little bit.
That's all I need to hear. For 5.3K against the Angels, he should have run support. If I do kind of want to keep one other cheap guy in my pool, like when I run SaberSim, I don't want to just block off. Like I'm not playing anyone below 8K. That could block off some combinations of things. Just for everything you said right there, K-prop, 4.5, some juice on the under, but 4Ks, 5-6 innings, like
he does keep the ball on the ground. Title. He walks a lot of guys, but man, we know this Angels team's just been dog shit. Like especially against some of these righties. The Angels started out hot against righties at the beginning of the year, but just reevaluating, just kind of noticing. He has gone up in his innings. He did go this magical 6 innings for that quality start last time. So, it's risky, but you know what? I don't really see any really safe options. Pitching's gross today, so I don't mind that now the more we talk about it.
Yeah, just for 5.3K, he would be in my pool. So 20 entry and below, it would look something like this, these 7 guys. And if I have to rank my top 3, it's Clay Holmes, it's Nick Lodolo, and it's Patrick Corbin. And again, I'm picking on bad offenses, the Pirates, the White Sox, and the Rockies. I'll pick on those 3 all day long for the whole season. I'll trust those pitchers to win out in the end. So anything to wrap up pitching, Gyiraszin? We narrowed it pretty good on this 9-gamer before we talk some bats.
No, I'm kind of excited getting these bats because, man, after all that shit pitching we were just talking about, obviously bats should look a little bit better here, Title. But, I like I said, pitching today, I think I'd keep it a little tighter today. I don't think you got to really work. Today's a slate where I don't think ownership is – I think it's spread out enough where you don't have to really be concerned. I think you should jam what you like today and sit back and enjoy your night. And hopefully you finish up there in the green tonight.
I agree. We said that yesterday too. Yesterday's slate, it was another big one. Offenses were spread out amongst like 4. There was Dylan Cease, but after Cease, there was a good amount of pitchers you could play. So ownership didn't mean as much on that slate. I think it's pretty similar to this as well. Pitching ownership, no one projected above 40%. Plethora of offenses with good run totals that I think will eat into each other as well. So play who you like at the end of the day is kind of how I see it today. Jake, appreciate you coming in. You can start now. Hey, we're about to start talking some bats. So just like that.
2X. You can 2X us all the way up and catch right up real quick.
There you go.
It sounds funny when I'm talking fast.
I always listen I listen to everything on 1.5x speed. What about you, Gyiraszin?
I do the same as well. And it's kind of funny, the regular podcast you listen to, and half these people I know and have met in person. Then when they're really talking to you in person, you feel like you just took a big hit of whippets or something. Like everybody's talking real slow. But yeah, I mean, I do that quite a bit. It is funny too when you do that to somebody who's never heard it that way. Like what the hell you listen to? Some chipmunks? I'm like, no, man, I'm trying to hurry. I'm getting my time in. I gotta listen to this shit. Like, it's something I like to listen to. But yeah, I do 1x it, 1.5x every time.
1.5x indeed. Yeah, save some time in life. Get to listen to more stuff. All right, Gyiraszin, let's talk some bats. First game of both FanDuel and DraftKings main slate starts at 7:07 Eastern. Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays. We are looking at an 8 total, -112 on the over, -162 favorites are the Blue Jays. Bassett ranks well in our pitcher rankings. Going to get some ownership, but not much with that price tag. Just seeing that ownership and the pitching ranking, that makes me like Chris Bassett even more on the pitcher side. I will say the Rays got the job done yesterday. Going to be very low owned again. Both sides of this game will be low owned. If I had to pick, I have more interest in the Blue Jays side. Obviously, I'm not playing Pepio. I have interest in Bassett. When looking at Pepio, man, there's more fly balls on the right side of the plate, which is interesting. Strikeouts pretty similar to both sides. Yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty similar when looking at the splits. What are you doing on the Blue Jays? You never play the Blue Jays. Are you playing them today?
Yeah, I don't really generally like playing the Blue Jays. The bottom of that lineup is just ugly. But, you mentioned the fly ball rate. Actually, so far this year, Pepio has actually been a little higher fly ball to lefties at 30, almost 33%. Last year he was 36 to righty, 23 to lefty. And then you're looking at him this year. He's, higher ground ball percentage to righty too, 45 to where he's 36 to lefties. But I mean, this Toronto lineup is just, like I said, you guys know how I feel about the Royals. Blue Jays are kind of right there with me. I'm just not really a fan. Now, maybe if we were in Tampa, I'd kind of consider it. But, I'm just going to let this one go here. As far as the, Tampa bats against Bassett, as you mentioned, Bassett's strikeout percentage has been decent, 26 to lefty, 24 to righties. Heavy ground ball so far to righties, 52%. You do got some lefties there with Tampa that he's going to have to face. So I don't sit here and want to really say to stack Tampa, but if I was looking for a low-owned team, I might look at a Tampa here against Bassett. I don't really know how much leverage you're going to get. I wish I was getting a little bit more leverage. I would probably bump it up a little bit. But I think I got the Rays outside. They're not my favorite, but I got my eyeball on them. I don't mind that. Bassett has, as we mentioned, he's given up 3 or 4 earned runs his last handful of starts. So you never know here. I don't mind it.
I don't mind the Blue Jays because their pricing does not break the bank. Not that pricing means too much on this slate, but easy to play Yamamoto if you do want that. Looking at ownership, none of these guys are projected over 10%. Run total's fine. Hitter rankings look very, very good on these guys as well. And a couple people in chat. First one got to give props to Andrew. Shout out to you, Andrew. Bichette and Varsho on fire. So a couple hot bats. Doesn't break the bank. Good ownership. Solid run total. Yeah, I don't love playing hitters in Blue Jay Stadium. Looking at other games on the spot, there's multiple 5.5 run totals. But it's only 1 run less, and you're going to get very, very low-owned teams. So probably more mini stacks. Varsho, Bichette look really strong. It'd probably be 1 through 6 if I did mini stack. Don't hate the 5-man and larger field stuff, but probably won't make my single entry teams. And I agree with you on the Rays. There's not enough leverage you're getting off of Bassett. He's going to be low-owned. He's a pivot as the second highest price pitcher on the slate, so you don't get the direct leverage I would want to play the Rays that way. All right, let's keep it rolling. Next game on the slate, New York Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're looking at an 8 total, minus 115 on the under. Mets, 5.7 run total, one of the highest on the slate. I'm playing Clay Holmes. I am not playing. And again, we don't think O'Neal Cruz will be in this lineup. I am not playing any of the Pirates. If they beat me, they beat me. The Mets, I mean, man, Bailey Falter is #bad. There's a lot of good offenses on the slate, though, Gyiraszin. So how does the Mets stack up against the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Braves, etc.?
Yeah, as far as we're looking at here with the Pirates, you're right. I'm not even thinking about any kind of Pirates bats here with Holmes, like you mentioned. They're just terrible. But the Mets, I mean, he throws a lot of strikes. I don't know. I think there's other spots to go here. I mean, Juan Soto's been hitting the ball really well. He's up there in the slugging percentage in the last 2 weeks. I think he's up in the top 20 there. I think Soto's really a guy that, I mean, you could look at, might be a top bat on the slate. But, I mean, I don't know. I think I'd more mini the Mets than go full 5 on here if you're on DK. The game total has an 8. I think as we mentioned, there's 6 teams with a team total over 5. I just think there's some better spots. But, man, Soto's been hitting the ball really well. You get that lefty-lefty matchup. Is he even in the lineup today? I don't even know if Soto's in the lineup today.
We do not have Juan Soto in the lineup. We have Lindor, Vientos, Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, Luis Torrens, Tyrone Taylor, Acuna, Kozar. Let's see if I.
Yeah, I mean, that right there would take me off the Mets right there. Just that alone. I would pass. Forget what I said about the Mets. I'd skip out on the Mets. I mean, bottom part of that lineup looks like shit, and you don't have Juan Soto in there. I mean, 6 through 9 just looks like not really too intriguing.
Yeah, I will say the one to play devil's advocate and to make you want to play them. Again, look at the run total, ownership, 52% when you add all of them. Let's keep going down. The Braves, 52%. Without Juan Soto, I think maybe the Braves would be higher owned. Maybe not, though. The Cubs, I think the Cubs get a little more ownership than this. Rangers and then Dodgers for sure will, 77%. Everyone wants to keep going to the Rangers. We have Dodgers at 63% down below. But, yeah, with no Juan Soto, I do think that's going to take a decent amount of people off of it. I don't mind the top of the order. Probably 1 through 7.
The 2-hole. We know I like the 2-hole.
There you go. 2-hole Vientos. 1 through 7, I think, in play, but they don't make my top 3 on the slate. No Juan Soto is a big bump down to this team, but makes sense. Stay off lefty. The Mets should win this game. All right, let's keep it rolling. Next game on the slate, Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago White Sox. We are looking at an 8.5 total, minus 112 on the over, minus 205 favorites are the Reds. So right here, do you prefer the Reds? Do you prefer the Mets? And again, looking at ownership, the Reds getting a decent bit more, only one player, Ellie, about 4.5K. Otherwise, this lineup is definitely cheap. Bad bullpen for the White Sox. Good hitting park. A lot adds up for the Reds. What do you like?
Yeah, the Reds are a team. You look at Davis Martin, then you get the White Sox bullpen too, right? So I think that's something that I like in the Great American ballpark there. But I think Ellie De La Cruz is somebody I'm going to want to look at here today. Obviously we know the stolen base upsides there. So I think the Cincinnati offense here is definitely interesting. I'd probably have them today in my maybe top 5 or 6. I don't have them in the top 5, but I have them right outside the top 5. But I think Ellie De La Cruz is looking pretty nice sitting there. You look at as far as some hot hitters here, I don't see anything as far for Cincinnati. Just taking a quick peek. I wanted to see if anybody was in the top 25 for slugging in the last 2 weeks. Didn't see anything there. But, for me, the Reds at home, I think you can play them anytime. You sit here, Austin Hayes is fairly cheap. You're going to get a few bats there. You can probably get a cheaper stack here. I didn't really look at all the prices for them all, but Stevenson, Sturr, McLean, I think you could definitely, I think more of a mini for me. I don't know about the 5, but I think a mini is decent. And, we're attacking bad teams, attacking that White Sox bullpen. So it's definitely in play.
Yeah, so we do have the lineup out. I mean, it doesn't look too great. Lux, Espinal, Ellie, Hayes, Steer, Trevino, Benson, McLean, Hins. I mean, I'm fine playing Matt McLean. Benson's got some pop, I guess. Trevino's not a fun click, but it's catcher. I don't know how much I love the Reds. I prefer the Mets straight up than the Reds, and I prefer other teams as we get lower too. I do like picking on the White Sox, but man, outside of Ellie, this lineup isn't too great when we're comparing to some other ones. So
I mean,
probably
he may
more
not even get pitched to with Austin Hayes sitting behind him. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, if they put him on, I mean, there's a pretty good chance he could get a poor man's home run. We know how he is, but yeah, I mean, I just like attacking that White Sox bullpen. But you're right, that lineup isn't all that intriguing, is it?
No, I mean, Ellie hit a nuke in the ninth yesterday to tie it up, but they were sitting with a 0 spot right before. Offense has been a little cold, so I don't love this game. All right, let's go to a game that I do think is pretty interesting: the Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nationals. We are looking at 9 total, which is 9 and -118 on the over. That is the highest over under on the slates. -180 favorites are the Braves. 80 degrees, wind blowing in a little bit from right to left, it looks like, but 80 degrees, good park. And man, I mean, yesterday we saw Abrams get the job done. This Nats team is sneaky. I usually have more interest in the Nats than most people. They're going to be low owned again. Not that we're getting much ownership on Bryce Elder, so we're not getting any like leverage off of him, but you prefer lefties for sure against Elder than righties. He does keep the ball on the ground, but James Wood has pop, Lowe has pop, Abrams has pop, Josh Bell has pop, going to be super low owned, so I don't mind the lefties for that side. The Brave stuff against Parker, you definitely prefer the righties to the lefties. Ozuna, Riley, Sean Murphy, Albies. You can always mix in the lefties that lower ownership. Matt Olson, Michael Harris. Yeah, I'm in on the Braves. I've been on the Braves the past couple days, though, and hasn't been great. I think they're probably number 2 for me today if I had to pick. So interest in some Nats minis, prefer the lefties. Interest in the Braves, prefer the righties. What are you doing in this one at Truist Park?
Yeah, I mean, I really like the Braves today. I especially against Parker. He's got a really low K percentage against righties. He's down at 12%, 16% this season to lefties. His ground ball rates are in the mid 40%, a little higher to the left side. But I mean, you sit here and look at this Braves lineup. I mean, Eli White, Riley, Ozuna, Murphy, Albies. I mean, I don't mind it. I just don't mind the 8 and 9. I don't really like the 8 and 9 hitter for the Braves, but Eli White getting moved up there to the top. I mean, I think the Braves here is definitely one of the top 3 stacks. I put them in my top 3 here in this one. And you mentioned the Nats. I think the Nats are interesting too, especially from the left side. I mean, Elder's 16% K rate to lefties. He's got a little bit of ground ball, but I mean, Abrams and Wood, we got a lot of power on that left side, Lowe and Bell. So Abrams and Wood are 2 guys that I think are definitely in play today. I do like the Nats as a mini. You know what? You could literally look at maybe game stack in this one too a little bit.
For sure.
So do like that. But yeah, I'll put the Braves in my top 3 bunch here. And then I do like the Nats here as it's probably a low-owned, cheap stack that I think you can get. I mean, Abrams and Wood are way underpriced. If they were anywhere else other than a shit Nats team, I mean, they'd probably be – Wood would be 4K, and Abrams would probably, or on FanDuel at least. But, they'd be a little higher price. So give me some of these Nats. They've been smacking the shit out of the baseball, the both of them.
Yeah, Abrams' first inning home run yesterday. James Wood 2 nights ago, he homered there. So definitely pop at the top of the order. Give me the lefties. Like a Nats lefties mini stack and a 5-man Brave stack definitely fits salary-wise. Sounds good to me. Highest total on the slate, 80 degrees. Solid hitting park. Good offense for the Braves. Yeah, I like this game a good bit. Yeah, Myron's on the same page. He doesn't like Elder too much. He likes the lefties as well. We are lockstep right there with you. All right, we'll keep it moving. Again, appreciate everyone hanging out. Like button, subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. Sweating a little early slate, 9-game main slate. Don't forget about the NBA streets. Nobody better in the business than our man Rio. Definitely been some fun playoff action. 100K to first every single night. Showdown content absolutely huge there. NBA Showdown slate plan. You can check Rio stuff out there as well. NHL, playoff hockey's been going on too. MMA this week, NASCAR this week, PGA. I think the PGA Championship tomorrow, massive prize pools. No better time to head over to ShipItNation.com. Again, you want all of our content, SaberSim Core and the Discord. DGen75, definitely the best deal out here. Usually $99 for the month. Use the code DGen75, just $24, less than $1 a day for the first month. Give it a try. Check us out to see what we're all about. All right, moving on. Literally, this slate's just like yesterday for me. My favorite stacks, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Braves. Same thing today. Did not work at all for me yesterday. I'm going right back to it today. Daily fantasy sports. They are some of the chalkier options, but we said, I think a bunch of ownership's going to be eaten into each other. And pitching, I don't have strong leans. Like I have 6 guys. I can pair any of those two together very easily. Could be like 20% and 25%. So I am fine eating some chalk offense that I think, again, we'll all be eating into each other with the 5 teams that are projected for 5+ runs: Braves, Cubs, Rangers, Dodgers, maybe some Mets. So I love the Cubs against Ryan Weathers. Jameson Taillon on the mound for the Cubs. I'm playing Taillon, so I am not going to play any Marlins today. We are looking at a 7.5 total, -110 apiece for over and under. Cubs big favorites at -218. I think the Cubs are my favorite. Man, I love PCA at the top of the order. They are expensive. There's no doubt about that. But if I went Taillon and Patrick Corbin, I can still 5-man the Cubs, and then I can find a cheap mini somewhere else. So, yeah, I'm playing the Cubs. Please bounce back for us today. That was very bad yesterday. But, yeah, probably my first favorite stack on the slate. What do you like?
You know, I mean, you sit here and look at the game total, you scratch your head. Why is this only 7.5, right? I mean, it's like it's the lowest total on the whole slate. So, I mean, but Ryan Weathers coming off an injury. How much of Ryan Weathers are we going to get? And then we get the 5th worst bullpen so far in all of baseball this year coming in for at least probably more than half a game. So I think that's really intriguing in this matchup here, especially Chicago. Did we look and see what kind of weather? I always, if I'm always interested in Cubs and Wrigley, you got to kind of check that once in a while.
Yep. We are looking at 60 degrees with wind blowing in a little bit. So not the best hitting weather by any means.
No, but I mean, hey, the Cubs have been just one of these teams that have been, up there, just been smacking the crap out of a baseball. Swanson's in the top. He's 6th overall in slugging. I mean, we already know PCA. I mean, this guy all of a sudden is turning into one of the better players in baseball. But, I mean, just for the fact that I think I'm going to get a half a game with this shit bullpen back there, I think it's definitely interesting. Yeah, I'll put the Cubs in my bunch up there with the top 3.
How do you compare them to not Dodgers? We haven't talked about it yet. Braves, Mets, and Reds. Where would you have the Cubs?
I think it's only between the Braves, and I'd probably put them on equal level, but I'd probably go Braves a little higher than the Cubs.
Okay. I'd have Cubs a little higher.
I'd like a couple others that we're going to get to. It's like, that's why I think it's going to be spread out tonight, Toto. I really think you got a bunch of like 5 or 6 offenses that you really can't make a clear cut that they should be the chalk, because, they all got decent matchups, really. So I think that's why I think it's going to be pretty spread out. I
agree. I think it also will. I would have Cubs, Braves if I had to rank those 4 teams as well. All right, next game. Another team getting a lot of ownership, as it has been the last couple of nights. Texas Rangers and the Colorado Rockies, 9 total, -112 on the under. -230 favorites is Patrick Corbin-led Rangers team. Patrick Corbin, -230 favorite. Man, what world are we living in 2025? But that shows how bad the Rockies are. That shows how bad Antonio Senzatella is. You most definitely needed the man Josh Jung yesterday. You didn't have him, you were not winning anything. Sometimes how it goes, but this lineup's very cheap. I mean, man, Jock, what are you doing, Jock? But yeah, like Berger, I never mind playing. Higashioka, 1 through 9 is very much in play. Senzatella, reverse splits guy. Way more ground balls to the left side of the plate than the right side of the plate, which is interesting. I don't think he's really good on either, but by no means should you be scared of the right side at all. Rockies against Corbin. I don't know. I am playing Patrick Corbin. It is Patrick Corbin at the end of the day, you're not worried about. He does keep the ball in the ground, though. He just doesn't miss too many bats. A K prop of 4.5, though, a lot of that has to do with, look at all these Ks, especially as you get to the bottom of the order. This lineup is gross. So I'm not playing Rockies. They strike out a bunch. So 4.5 K prop minus 160 on the over, as high as you'll see for Patrick Corbin. I think Rangers, as we see, Rangers are the chalkiest. I think I like Cubs and Braves more, but the price tags make a lot work. So how do you see in this? How do you compare the Rangers to some of those other teams?
Yeah, Senzatella. I don't even know if he could strike me out, man. I'm not claiming to be that good, but I could probably hit his shit. 8% strike out the lefties, 12% to righties. His fly ball rate is up a little bit to righties. His ground ball rate's down a little bit. I like all these power righties that the Rangers have. Wyatt Langford sitting that 2-hole, Garcia, Semien, Jung, Berger. I don't mind any of them. I like the righties here for the Rangers. They're another one there that could be in the top 5 or 6 that I think you're going to see some people play. But Wyatt Langford in that 2-hole is somebody that stands out to me.
You always love your 2-hole batters. So Rangers, did you like them more, the Rangers, than the Cubs or the Braves?
I think I would go I think I'd have the Rangers behind the Cubs and Braves.
All right, I would too. That's interesting. What book is that on Myron? Obviously, that means he has to get through 4 innings. 4 innings is the win. Has to have the lead, so that obviously has part to do with it. But to see him plus 135 and the actual money line minus 230 tells me maybe a little bit of value on that plus 135 number. But there's no professional betting going on over here. Just looks minus 270 or minus 230 to plus 135 is interesting for the starting pitcher when the Rockies are implied 3.5 runs. All right, your favorite team, the Kansas City Royals and the Houston Astros. It is on DraftKings. There you go. Got a chuckle from Gyiraszin too. We are looking at an 8.5 total, minus 118 on the over. Minus 125 favorites are the Stros. So is this the sneaky game of the day, Gyiraszin? On paper, people aren't playing Gordon much. People aren't playing Michael Lorenzen. But people aren't playing either side for the bats as well. This game just completely going to go unowned. And 8.5 total, juice on the over, is one of the better on the slate. So any sneaky stuff you can find this one?
You got Lorenzen, who, on the other side of this Houston lineup, that Houston lineup at the bottom is just not all that intriguing to me. But Lorenzen, higher fly ball percentage to righties, ground ball percentage like 28%. But I just wish they'd have a little more power. Paredes finally did something here the other day, but they're going to throw a handful of I think actually all right-handed lineup against Lorenzen, which is, well, maybe Cartini might be a switch, but
yeah, but he's going to bet righty, or no, he'll bet lefty. Duh.
Yeah.
So what is it? Let me ask you this: and I don't know the answer. I assume they'll still bat from the opposite side of the plate for platoon. But if there's such a heavy reverse splits guy, do you think that the analytics nowadays would have them bat for the wrong side of the plate when they go up?
I don't know if I've ever seen that, to be honest.
I don't know.
I can't recall that ever being in play. Most switch hitters are generally right-handed to begin with, and they have to learn to hit left-handed. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think you would want to go, to me.
If anyone in chat knows, let me know.
Your right or side. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
But I assume he'll go left. So 8 righties, 1 lefty with the switch. But yeah, he thought the same thing. If analytics are used so heavily nowadays, there has to, if it's a long-term for years sample, obviously something's going on with his arm angle, his pitching movement, something where it's harder on lefties than righties, if that were to be the case. And then at that point, you would think you'd want to bat where the pitcher's most weak. But yeah, I assume we'll bet lefty. That was something I thought of in the past that I just did not know the answer to. So keep it going.
As far as the Royals go, we know that I don't generally like to play the Royals, but let's just call it is what it is. The only guy you could literally play every day on the Royals is Bobby Witt.
He's a stud.
Bobby Witt is definitely premier baseball player. He is something else. But I just can't do it. Maybe one day, Title, I'll smoke a couple them infused joints, take a hit off a bong, and then build me a Royals team and see if I can get in the winner's circle like you boys have been in recent times. But it's just tough. I think when, for me, like if I'm going to play some Royals, I mean, you do got a rookie tonight. I mean, that's something to be said there. The Houston bullpen isn't really anything you want to mess with. It's bottom. It's like second best in baseball too. So I think that's a little bit to be concerned. But hey, today the Royals aren't chalk. So, like it seems like most days just because they're so cheap. But I think I'm going to just leave it alone as far as the Royals go against this rookie because of the bullpen. And then as far as the Houston bats go, Lorenzen isn't somebody that, we've really had too much success attacking here. I don't really like the fly ball rates either here that some of these Houston bats have. The highest is Christian Walker at 30%, but I'd like to see a little bit higher. But yeah, I think I'm just going to pass on this one.
I'm passing too. There's enough games on the slate. Ownership's going to be pretty close on a lot of the teams that I do like a lot more in a vacuum. So again, it's not a slate I'm worried about ownership as much as some other ones with 9 games on tap. So if that game beats me, it beats me. I'm not expecting much to be on the winner in this one. All right, 2 games left. This one, San Diego Padres, another team with the team total above 5, taking on the Los Angeles Angels. We see a 9 total, minus 118 on the under. Padres, interesting talking point. So ownership, pretty low, no doubt about that. We have Jackson Merrill, number 1 in the hitting rankings. Talk about a complete stud. Fernando Tatis, number 4 in the hitter rankings. Another complete stud. Yes, they are expensive, but again, there's enough cheap bats. I wouldn't hate like a Jason Hayward. He has pop. Gavin Sheets. Elise Diaz, he has some pop at the catcher spot. So I can 1 through 9 this team. I can wrap it around. I can play Corbin, Tyon, and keep it moving. I also don't even like Randy Vasquez. If I was 5-man in Padres and I needed him, I wouldn't hate it because there's more options. There's more likely for the win. Like if you're going to get to the winner's circle all the way to the top with the Padres, they got to score a bunch of runs. They score a bunch of runs. More likely Vasquez gets the win. He still has to do his job himself, but a little positive correlation there. You might need that price tag when you're playing Tatis, Machado, Merrill, etc. But you don't even. You can still go Corbin, Tyon, and play them. I'm going back and forth, though, because Hendricks is a ground ball pitcher. I don't love Petco Park in terms of bats. But, man, Hendricks misses no bats. And there's a lot of great hitters on this Padres team who's seeing the ball well. So, yeah, what wins out? The park, the ground ball pitcher in Hendricks, or just the strike thrower that's not going to miss any bats?
Yeah, I wish we were not in San Diego, but I do have the Padres up there as one of my favorite stacks for the reason being, dude, if you look at the freaking numbers of this Angel bullpen, like they might as well be playing kickball and rolling that big red playground ball up there because they are awful, like freaking awful. 28 home runs, most in MLB. They've given up 105 earned runs, second to Washington. I mean, they got an ERA of 7. They've given up like the most hits in all of it of baseball. I mean, they're not very good. So, I mean, you get a Kyle Hendricks, as you mentioned. You're sitting here looking at him as far as like his ground ball leans. Actually, from last year, his ground balls are almost down 10% to the right side. His ISO is 231 to the right side. I mean, to me, Fernando Tatis is one of my favorite bats on the entire slate here today. So I'd want some Tatis. I'd like some Machado. I'd like some Jackson Merrill. I mean, I think, as you mentioned, they are pretty expensive. But we got a couple pitchers we mentioned that are pretty cheap today that you're going to be able to plug in. I do get a little worried about that marine layer coming in San Diego. The air gets a little heavier. So, I mean, that's a little bit of concern. But, man, this Angel bullpen has just been so bad. Like, I feel like I'm getting a below-average pitcher to start the game, and then I get one of the worst bullpen in baseball. Like, I think I got the Padres up there in my top of my stacks.
I like it. I absolutely like it. Again, their ownership most definitely will be in check. It's very expensive, and there's multiple other teams that have higher run totals that are cheaper, just have similar run totals that are cheaper. Like people aren't going to just run to play the Padres I think they make a lot of sense. And again, that's part of the reason I'm not playing like Astros, Royals. I'm keeping it to the best teams today. There's like 6 teams with run totals above 5. All of them can't get a bunch of ownership. I'm just going to pick one of those 6 teams and hope it pretty much works from there. And again, some strong leans, like I liked the Cubs, then the Braves, then the Padres, then Dodgers are my 4. But yeah, I don't mind the Reds. I don't mind Texas. Like ownership, all will be eaten into each other. No team will probably be above 20% in terms of 5-man stack ownership. When that's the case and pitching spread out, play who you think is going to score a crooked number today and hope to get to the top is how I see it. A lot less game theory, a lot more I know baseball is how I'm looking at it.
I mean, in two-title you mentioned, I just was just checking it out. So we got the Angels, the worst bullpen. We obviously know we like San Diego. Washington's the second worst bullpen. We know that we like the Braves. And then we got the A's, who are the 4th worst bullpen. We know we're going to like the Dodgers. And Miami's the 5th worst bullpen, and we know we like some Cubs. So as you mentioned, on the pitching side, we're going against the worst hitting teams. And as far as stacks go, they got mid-level pitchers starting out, and they got the shittiest bullpen. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's pretty much where we're landing today. And the thing is, Title, there isn't just one of those options. It's like 4 or 5 different options in the same damn boat. That's why I think, ownership today should be spread out fairly even today. But, yeah, I mean, this one's definitely interesting with the way we got it lined up here tonight. So we'll see. It's baseball, though.
It's baseball. Like none of us will be surprised if we go tomorrow and like, oh, the Angels were on the winner. Now maybe a little surprised, but not like, oh, the world's ending. Like it's baseball. Random things happen. If those 5 teams that we like most aren't on the winner, I wouldn't be shocked. I would lose at the end of the day. If I was playing 20 teams, I would just focus on those 6 pitchers, 7 pitchers. I would just focus on those 5 to 6 stacks. And then from there, just hope you get the right combinations. Like it's a real easy slate for me. That doesn't mean that we're going to be right. It's going to end up that way. It's just on paper. And I love the bullpen stats that you're saying too. The teams we like going against pretty bad pitchers, starting pitchers, and really bad bullpens. Usually a good recipe for success. All right. Oh, hold on. From what I found out, Carotene switch hitting, he'll more like a bit lefty. Yeah. Thanks, Jason. If anyone out there does know of a switch hitter that batted from the same side as the pitcher because of splits, let me know. I'm not sure it has ever happened, but I definitely would love to know if it has. And if you're sweating the early slate, hope you have some Ketel Marte, who's absolutely going off. Double dong. All right, last game of the slate. Los Angeles Dodgers, Oakland Athletics, 8.5 total, -118 on the over. Dodgers biggest favorites on the slate at -285. You just mentioned how bad the A's bullpen is. Talk a little bit about Gunnar. Do you like the Dodgers? How much you like the Dodgers compared to the other teams? Where do they sit? And the A's, 11 runs yesterday, absolutely jumped over Landon Knack. Can you make a case for any of these guys against what looks to be the chalkiest pitcher on the slate?
I'm not going to go after any A's against Yamamoto. He did struggle with a 1 start. He's just too good of a pitcher anyway. I mean, plus he's a -285 favorite. The A's got a team total of 3.3. But, on the other side, the Dodgers here, I definitely are interesting. Hoagland, I mean, he's not going to go too deep. You're going to get an A's bullpen at the back part of this second half of this game that is not all that good. And, I'm sitting here looking at the lefties here against Hoagland. Is probably where I'm going to want to attack. So Ohtani, Freeman, Muncy, Conforto. I mean, even Outman's cheap at the bottom there. So I think the Dodger stack's definitely interesting. I'd be a little concerned, though, about Outman in the bottom half of that lineup getting pitch hit for as a game. You might see some Kiki, do you love me in there or something like that as we go on. But, the top half of this lineup for the Dodgers is definitely play. They're always in play to go ahead and break a slate here. But, give me the top half. I do prefer the lefties, though. So, even Muncy is somebody I'd consider playing. But Shohei and Fast Money Freeman, man, he's just been smacking the shit out of the baseball as well. Freddie Freeman leads all of MLB's, tied with Aaron Judge in the last 2 weeks as far as slugging goes. And then right there at number 3 is a guy named Shohei Ohtani. So we really have 2 of the top 3 hitters in all of baseball the last 2 weeks, slugging at over an 850 clip. So that's pretty impressive. So yeah, give me a hot hitting Freddie Freeman and give me a hot hitting Shohei Ohtani today.
Yeah, I mean, never will I complain about the Dodgers. One of the best lineups in baseball. I would try and go 1 through 6 if I was stacking to try and avoid pinch hit risk. Thank you, Josh. Ozzy, Elbies did it. And if there was a gun to my head, people probably think I'm going to make this up.
It might be Ozzie Smith. You never know. Ozzy.
It could, but I was going to guess Ozzy Elbies just because he's so much better of a hitter from the right side than the left side. Like he's one of those as a switch hitter where his splits are so much better against right or as a righty. You like him against left-handed pitchers than vice versa. So, yeah, I was zero credit. I didn't know we ever did it. But if there was one to be, what English am I saying? If there was someone to do it, Ozzy Albies would have made the most sense to me. So thank you, Josh. 1,000% sure. We got our answer. Willie said it has happened before. So appreciate that, Josh. Appreciate everyone hanging out for these 9 games, Gyiraszin. I think we narrowed it pretty well. I'm playing one of the top 5 offenses. I'm playing 2 of those 6 pitchers we talked about, Corbin and above. And from there, I'm going to hope to have the right combination. So 9-game MLB slate, pretty much cut it for 5 teams, 6 pitchers. Hey, we can't really do much more than that. Make it slate pretty easy. That's always the goal for ourselves, for the people. Doesn't mean easy's right. Again, definitely always recommend coming up with your own process to help that out more. Education, MLB. Check out our MLB education video, hour and a half, talking some baseball with Hoop and Tambo, PGA, NFL, MMA, NBA, also up there for education video. SaberSim, no better powerful tool optimizer than that. See what they're on, run some builds. Again, if you do want that promo code, DGen75 is the code. Get you $75 off your first month. Gyiraszin, final thoughts on this slate before we get on out of here.
Yeah, like you mentioned, we got some pitchers against in some pretty good matchups. I think we got to keep it to a bunch. Same kind of thing on the offensive side. I don't think you really have to worry too much about ownership today. So spin it what you want. Come up with your own your theory on what you think may happen today and jam it into your favorite SaberSim site and see what comes up of it. But, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. You know what? We've been keeping it hot around here with those weekly tweets that I love to mention with all the big numbers on them, man. We had a couple weeks ago, we had that big 350. We had 100K like every week. It's just member after member is putting up some pretty good, bringing home some pretty good cheese. So we got to keep it rolling here. We got the big golf coming up. I'm kind of excited about. You know, when I start playing golf title, that's when I want to start watching it a little bit. But
that was fun.
Yeah, it's good time. So, yeah, I mean, it just golf for me is like so different every because it's a 4-day sweat, you know, and you're like, my luck, I'm always at the top in the first couple days, and it's like a on the way down. But you know, it's still fun to sweat it out a little bit on a Sunday, enjoy some afternoon baseball. So hey, let's kick some ass and get back and let's get us some of this fun coupons. We need fun coupons for the summer. We got a lot of shit to do this summer. So
yeah, we do.
Roll.
Absolutely. Always love talking ball with you, Gyiraszin, but for sure, $1 million. You're talking fun coupons, $1 million up top for just $25 in the PGA Streets, PGA Championship. Prizes are absolutely huge. Again, locks tomorrow. Hoop and Tambo went live yesterday. Our man GS Luke will be going live tonight at 7 p.m. You can see right here shows. You can check the GS Luke one. You can check the Hoop and Tambo one out. The Stone, Slate Plan, Course Fit rankings, by far the best content for the PGA is over at ShipItNation.com. Again, NBA playoffs, MLB, MMA, NHL, and NASCAR still going as well. Appreciate you guys all hanging out. You guys have a great night. We will be back tomorrow, at least with a quick hit, maybe a show. I know they're doing some early baseball. I have to see what DraftKings puts out, but some content will be up. Just be subscribed. You'll be notified when that show goes live. And again, DGen75 gets you $75 off your first month. Get in the Discord if you do join. For Gyiraszin, I'm Titletown. Good luck tonight. Be safe. Peace.